It's time for local stories from across the East. Local food. Local fashion. Local businesses. This is your home for local. This is the East's Daily Download on Eastern North Carolina CW.
Hello and welcome to the East Daily Download. My name is Mark. I'll be your tour guide on this adventure across the East, which today brings us on location to Greenville, specifically Buzz Coffee, located near the ECU campus. Now, the reason we're here today actually has nothing to do with coffee, which sounds kind of odd. Why would we come to a coffee house? We'll get to that in a little bit. First, let me tell you what's on today's show. We have a new Veteran Voices story for you. We have a new Hollywood Minute. We'll have part 2 in our interview with Jason and Alana of Whirligig Stage. And if all that wasn't enough, we have a new Down Eats at Haddock's Barbecue. Let's go eat.
Tucked away at a crossroad in southeastern Pitt County.
It seems like these places are hard to find.
In a community called Clay Root.
A lot of people say, it's a hidden gem.
Sits Haddock's Barbecue, a place serving up great food for decades.
I mean, it's out in the country, the middle of nowhere, but, sometimes it's a busy place to be as small as it is.
Scott Foy and his wife Kim now run things at Haddock's. Kim's great aunt and uncle were the original owners. She can remember coming here as young as 5 years old.
It really hadn't changed a lot. I mean, it's always been the same kind of layout.
What has changed is life for the Foys after taking over the restaurant last October.
After long and careful consideration, we took the leap because my husband had been at Weyerhaeuser for 24 years. And I said, this is your chance to try it, to see if it's gonna work. And so far, it's been wonderful.
It's a whole lot more work than what I anticipated, but I'm getting the hang of it, and I enjoy it a whole lot more now than in the beginning.
And that's where this story stands today. But let's rewind for a bit to the moment that made Haddock such a special place for this husband and wife team.
Because this is where me and my husband met. He came in, and I was like, who is that? Who is that? I didn't know it, but he had also asked my cousin, who was running it at the time, who I was and what my situation was. And it took her 2 weeks before she would give him my phone number. I was like, why did you not just give him my phone number? Why did you wait 2 weeks?
Scott eventually called, they went out, and he and Kim fell in love and got married. A journey that's now back to where it started.
He grew up in Craven County, went to West Craven, and I grew up in Pitt County, went to D.H. Conley. So we had never crossed paths. And for us to cross paths here, of all places, and then 15 years later we're running it, is just really, that means a lot. That's really special.
But if you thought that's the end of the story of why this place is special, think again. Yes, Haddock's Barbecue is more than a restaurant. Every other Friday night, the back room turns into Clay Root karaoke.
It's family oriented, you have children, some that'll sing, you have some that are really talented that can sing, and then you have some people that just got more heart than I do to get up there. I might could do better than what I think, but I just can't make myself get up there.
It's jammed back there. I mean, we have people that come from Washington, New Bern, all over, and they have their seat. They get here early so they can get their seat. It's fun. It's a lot of fun for everybody.
Good times to go along with good food. It's a tradition Kim and Scott want to take into the future here at Haddock's.
Come see us, hang out with us. If you're into singing, you can sing, eat with us, and listen to the other people.
Everybody's into eating.
I wanted a space that felt warm, inviting, surprising. It could be inside of a barn somewhere where a group of women and men are getting together and we're talking about life. The Mel Robbins Show is not a show, it's an experience. This show is active. And so we thought meticulously about the set design itself so that I can move all over the place. I'm sneaking back here for all of my arts and crafts. I did not want the set to feel very urban and city, because this is a show about real people. I'm out to ignite change.
Your local WNCT 9 in Your Side news on our live stream on WNCT.com or on our mobile app.
We're back here in the East Daily Download inside of Buzz Coffee right now. I'm joined by Hannah Hackett, the owner and manager and everything of Buzz Coffee. Thanks for having us here. Thanks for inviting us in. Today is National
Donut Day.
And with that, you're going to make some
Donuts.
So I'll let you get started.
Okay. And we do make all of our donuts fresh at Buzz. So we make them the day before our dough and we put them in the fridge. I'm just about to roll some dough out and cut them up for us. So we actually don't even cut our dough until somebody orders a donut. So I'm gonna cut a half dozen.
So you actually cut the holes out and everything.
We do.
What do you do with those? Do you reuse them for dough? For
We
more?
put them to the side because we do Buzz bags as well. We do 15 count and 30 count of donut holes. So we do use those as well.
All the dough gets used eventually.
Yes, sir. All right. Then I take them to the fryer and drop them.
How does the initial conversation develop about let's create this theater? How does that come about? Is it a mutual thing that just was in a conversation?
I think we joked about it at first.
Yeah,
but
it
was more funny than because we had friends who had started theater ventures before, and we had seen the struggles of.
It's a business. I mean, yeah.
And it's small community performing arts centers are not necessarily the most booming of businesses. So it's not something.
Business model.
It's not something that you get into unless you really see no other choice and that you're super committed to. And so I think at first we just kind of said, well, let's do this, and it was like, yeah, that would work. We could totally do that. And I was like, well, actually, it's not a bad idea.
Well, because we were also talking about, well, what do we need to move forward in our career? I said, well, I want to direct and perform more. And Jason said, well, I want to design more, and I want to, get my hands into all the different aspects of theater. So that was sort of where that led us. And we said, well, we could keep looking to others to give us jobs. We can just create it here. Yeah. So.
Well, and a lot of the things that we were doing in that first year with the Greenville JCs and with with ECU Theater Department was the start of that community building.
Yeah.
And so when we got here, it was, I can't wait to design this float for this Christmas parade.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't it be wouldn't it be great if we could do this at this community event, and that we began to get very passionate about the community building, the organizational process of it that we had just never done before.
My name is Faith Tingle. I own Sewing Creations. Bought this store from a dear friend back in 2004, and I've been sewing since I was 5 years old. I've sewed just about anything, mostly clothes. I've smocked, I've quilted, and I've sewed for all my children, I've sewed for my husband, and I've helped other people sew. I do some alterations. I can put in zippers and hem and most anything you want done to a piece of fabric. If you bring a sewing machine in, we take a look at it and we try to diagnose it quickly. We will clean the machine, adjust the machine, and sew it out and make sure everything is working properly before we give it back to you. Everybody needs to know at least how to sew up a rip and how to sew on a button and how to do some, minimum repairs. We sell Husqvarna Viking and we sell Fath. They're all new machines. We also have used machines that are trade-ins when people want to upgrade from the machine they have. They think they need a better or bigger or greater machine than they have. They trade in, and we sell the trade-ins, and we clean them and take care of them before they are put out to sell. Every sewing machine should be turned over or sewed at least once a month. That makes everything's working properly. You also should have a machine cleaned at least once a year according to how much sewing you do. Sometimes they had to be cleaned every 6 months if you're doing a lot of flannel or fabric that's really liney. So we have hoops and all the supplies that you might need for sewing, embroidery, or any type of sewing that you might do.
We are back here at Buzz Coffee. Hannah has made the donuts. Well, she's cut the donuts and got them ready. And now you're going to do what?
I'm going to drop them in the fryer. So I put them on this tray. And then what I do is I lower it, but I only submerge half so it rises and they fluff up real nice.
How long does it normally take for them to cook?
About 5 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. We'll cut the dozen and we'll drop the dozen as they order them.
Do you ever get tired of making donuts?
No, you can't get tired of the smell.
How many would you say that you make, or how many dozens would you say you make a day, or the busiest day of the week?
Our busiest day is definitely Sunday, and we probably go through about 5 dozen in the morning, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot for us. And then we do a coffee and a donut special, so we sell a lot of donuts a day.
So how long have you owned Buzz Coffee?
So I managed for 4 years and I took over ownership in April, so it's still fairly new, but I'm loving it, every moment.
You're doing a great job. This place is awesome. We love coming here.
Thank you.
And okay, so
I'm gonna get my donut stick. And
stick?
Yeah. A little wooden stick.
That's just to make sure all the oil, you flip it with
Right,
that.
and I'm gonna flip them.
Now, can you buy a donut stick at any store, or is that a special thing?
Oh yeah, you can buy donut sticks from Michael's. Michael's or AC Moore's, any of those craft stores.
We'll be back and see the finished product of the donuts in a little bit. Let's take a look at what's coming up next.
Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Avengers Endgame is the highest-grossing film ever, nearly $2.8 billion worldwide. So it makes sense the Marvel movie would receive an honor called the Hollywood Blockbuster Award. Marvel execs will pick up the prize at the 23rd Hollywood Film Awards, which bills itself as the official launch of the award season, November 3rd in Beverly Hills.
It feels really good. It's hard to process.
Paul Dano, known for such films as 12 Years a Slave and There Will Be Blood, has been cast in The Batman as the classic villain, the Riddler. He'll match wits with Robert Pattinson in the title role, and Zoe Kravitz has climbed on board as Catwoman. The film's due out in June of 2021.
When I taste tequila, baby, I still see you cutting up the floor in a sorority t-shirt.
Dan and Shay are on a roll. Their tune Tequila won the Grammy this year for Best Country Duo or Group Performance, and now tickets for their arena tour, which went on sale last week, are going fast. In fact, their New York show at Madison Square Garden has already sold out, and it's not until next September. The tour kicks off with 2 Nashville shows in March. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The East Daily Download is all about you. It's about local stories featuring local businesses. If you or your business would like to be featured, contact the sales team at WNCT. And be sure to watch new episodes weekday mornings at 7 on Eastern North Carolina CW.
Jerry does a good job. He lets you know when something is finna transpire. I have the app on my phone and the radar on my phone. It helps me know when the storm is coming up. One moment I really appreciated was when Hurricane Florence was about and the way Jerry really let you know what was going to happen. That was one moment that made my decision for us to leave town. Craven County, we got hit bad. I just wanted to say y'all continue to do what you're doing.
We'll curl, catch, and press. It appeals to the primal in us. So the original tool would have been a leverage tool. Well, first it would have been a rock in your hand. From there it would have been a rock attached to a stick, essentially a mace. And I think that when a person grabs the mace for the first time, that inner coding, that primal coding kind of comes out a little bit and it feels right. And that's just what it felt to me. The biggest thing we hear is just a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding at first, because it's a very old tool, but it's very new in the West. So once the most common comment we get on social media or when people come in is they just don't know what it is. Once they realize or learn what it is, though, more often than not, a passion finds them as well. And with the mace, you need to be able to be strong while still being loose. So there needs to be that fluid swing, that fluid motion, as well as that nice yang, strong pull. So the balance of yin and yang was one of the things that really pulled me into it. There's so much connection required between movement of body and movement of mace that you really form a bond with your mace. So like all mine are named because I wanted that further connection with it. So I named all of mine. Just to watch people progress and fall in love with the tool, and maybe not even just fall in love with the tool, but be introduced to a new style of movement that then can lead them into their fitness practice or their fitness goals or whatever the deal is. It becomes a form of that active meditation. So we've seen people experience tons of growth, both physically as well as mentally and spiritually as well.
With every step and every turn, this dancing 92-year-old World War II veteran is proving age is just a number.
It keeps me active, you know, my legs moving and so forth.
Watch out, old Angelo is back. Watch out now.
Because every Thursday evening, you can find Angelo Rico dancing in the deli at Pado's in Innsbruck.
I found the dream.
The Navy vet says he's always loved to dance.
That was my career in the Navy.
That was your career in the Navy?
Yeah, I used to dance a lot when I was ashore.
That's why the lady is a tramp.
I'm here twice a month, and it's a wonderful place. This is a veteran outfit, and here there's a lot of veterans.
Thank you so much for your service.
But Angelo's kind of special. He is like Fred Astaire, and the girls love him.
I'm hearing the ladies love your dancing. Are you a ladies' man?
No, I don't project myself as a ladies' man. I like to dance, and they're very hospitable that way.
So, of course, I had to ask, could I have the next dance? Would you dance with me to this?
Carrie and Angelo.
This vet can certainly twirl me off my feet. For Veterans Voices, I'm Carrie O'Brien.
Roanoke Electric is restoring the power in stages throughout the night, and the cooling center will be open as long as they need to the public.
Aboard Camp Lejeune, Marines wear many hats, no matter whether it's on land or on sea. They continue to build their skills through training, ready to be called into action.
The state of Alabama has just passed a near-all ban on abortion. I spoke to several people here in Greenville about could or should something like that happen in North Carolina.
For more of these stories, visit us on our website at WNCT.com. Watch 9 on Your Side News anywhere, anytime with Live Stream 9.
It may seem counterintuitive. The Federal Reserve has been cutting interest rates, but your credit card's annual percentage rate, or APR, may be rising. The reason? Those generous rewards programs on the cards are taking a bite out of banks' profits. To help pay for the rewards programs, banks are charging credit card holders more with higher rates. The Wall Street Journal reports the average APR on interest charging credit cards is about 17%. And that is near the highest in more than 20 years. So in this environment, it's as important as ever to maintain a good credit score. It's going to determine the rate you get when you sign up for a new card. The best rates are going to applicants with credit scores of 700 or above, but usually when signing up, you're just given a range of what the rate will fall into. You won't know your exact APR until you receive the card. So double check the rate to make sure it's where you believe it should be. And one way to not have to worry about your APR, pay off that balance every month if possible.
Okay, so we have gotten to the end of this process. We're going to plate the donut, and then we're going to try the donut. But before we do that, Hannah, tell everybody what specials you have for National Donut Day, where you're located, your hours, all the good stuff they need to know.
So for National Donut Day, we have $5 dozens going on. We're located on 1201 South Charles Boulevard, and we're open till 9 p.m.
Well, let's see that donut. Let's
right.
do it. That looks amazing and beautiful, and I will just go ahead. John, that was for me. John ruining the day yet again. Well, have a great day, everybody. From Buzz Coffee House, we'll see you tomorrow on the East Daily Download. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye-bye. Wednesday, when we hit the road for the next edition of the East Daily Download, we have a new Q&A with AQ. We take a look at the new director's cut of the movie The Current War. We'll have part 3 in our conversation with Whirligig Stage founders Jason and Alana. And WNCT-9 First Alert Weather Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson has a special edition of Weather Kids. So join us on Wednesday for an all-new The East Daily Download on Eastern North Carolina CW.